How's it going, everyone? Wild Goose here, and I'm back with another Escape from Tarkov video. Today, we're covering my top 3 recommendations for level 20 and below gun builds, less than 75k rubles. Now, if you're not, go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, and let's get in that video. All right, to get us started, we're hopping in Escape from Tarkov, and we're gonna go to the traders, and I'm gonna take you to my first pick. Now, when vetting these out, I'm just thinking of a few different play styles to give variety options. So later on, we might do some more in-depth guides by, things like the map you're on and maybe what you're trying to do, whether it's a quest or some long-range, short-range stuff. But my first pick, and one that I just love going to, is the MP153. Now, this does take some time to get to, but man, is it worth it. So that's going to actually be with Jaeger. And as you can see, it is for 29,430 rubles. So let's go ahead and pick that one up. And let's start breaking down what I do to this. And there's a few things. So again, you've already got flea market at this point, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So let's get this right about here. Let's go into our edit preset just to make things easy. First off, I go ahead and mod it out, and so let's actually make sure we can do this. It might take me a second to find the right one, with a 8 slot magazine. I go ahead and throw on the SPRM and put on an optic. Because I know it's cheap, I'm gonna run the MRS. You could do the PK06. Let's see, let's try that now. You thought this would be a concise video, and guess what? I'm taking you along for the journey because this is just what I'm thinking. Ooh, that actually puts us under budget. Okay, that's good to know. So I'm going to bring that back and go to a 6 just because I like the magazine capacity. I'm pretty sure one of these is through a vendor. That's the one I was looking for. So here it is. I'm going to go ahead and purchase those, and you can see that's 18,000. I got a little notepad right here so I can help make the notes for you. You don't have to do any math. 18,533, and that's all through traders. Now you have to have them loyalty level 2, so there are some quests. This might be locked behind, but let's go ahead and pick that up. Let's go back, assemble that, and that is one of my favorite builds right there. I love running this thing on factory, and now that's like the first model of it, right? So if you want to go ahead and take a note on it, because we have a bit more budget left, I'm going to go ahead and say we can do some more. So just check that out. Now you notice there's nothing with the muzzle. There's no lasers. But currently we're up to 47. No, we're up to 47,964. Okay, that's not too bad. We've still got, we're going to round numbers here, so just fudge it. So we got some room to play with. Let's look at what else we can do. I'm pretty sure we can get the RTC 12 gauge choke, the sprut mount, and that fits in our budget. We're going to call that 75k on the dot. We were at 47,000. We're at 28,005. We're about 1,000 rubles over. But this is a deadly shotgun. So let's go ahead and assemble that and see what we're working with. Now, you got the muzzle, and let's just look at some stats here because it's going to help you. One, crucial that we got the... Oh, that's embarrassing, guys. We got the wrong one. Hold up, take that out. Okay, that is on me. I actually bought the wrong one there, so we went back in, came back out, and let's apply. Okay, now it's there. Let's assemble that. This is the gun I thought we were building. Let's put that back on. Let's just back out of this, go back into it. All right, now you can see we got the laser light. I always run it on the light side. We've got the choke for a little bit extra muzzle velocity, hopefully get a tighter spread. We got a little bit more accurate because of it. All around, I love this gun, so highly would recommend. And again, for 75,000 rubles, not bad. I often run it a lot less modded than this if I'm wanting a budget gun build. So that's gun number 1. Gun number 2 here. So let's go to traders. And I recommend gun number 2 because I think it's a versatile marksman style. And you'll see what I mean. We're going to skier, and it's the VPO 136762, and that brings us 31,000. So let's go ahead and buy that. And as you can see, I'm not the richest Tarkov player, but it's all about the spirit, right? And let's open up that preset. So as a base, I don't really recommend taking this gun out. Like I would say if you're at the 153, take it out standard, you'll do okay. This one, iron sights, what it is, you can do good. I personally don't love it. So let's mod that thing out. This is not one I'd be like, yeah, you should go run it. But there are some light mods I'd recommend to you. So let's check those out. Ooh, 62,000 in that, and you can see it's that monstrum. All right. We're going to have to go back because obviously I don't have that unlocked. And I'm going to do the handy dandy MRS. Let's go ahead and buy that. And now what I am going to do as part of this video is do a little bit of a run with each of these guns to show you a bit of what I'm feeling as a handle. I am going to go ahead and take the flea market flash hider because I do like the little bit of hiding there. And if you can see, that brings us up 6,000 under budget. We just spent 39,000 right there. We are at 31,000 as the base, so that was a 70K budget. That's pretty awesome. Not bad. Let's go back and build that. That's a good gun. Now again, these aren't the fanciest, they're not the nicest. There's a few other ones, like I'll do some tier videos because I think there's some step ups. On this one, I just wanted to give you some good ideas. And back it up. All right, that's pretty good. I will do that, and I do run that. When I run a 20 round mag, I do carry about 4 of those, so you can start thinking about 80 grand. Not 80 grand, about 8,000, and then you get into the bullets and ammo, so not too bad. I'm not going to cover that. We can cover bullets and ammos in another video. So, what's our final gun build? I think this is one everyone's probably suspecting being on there, but the AKS 74UN. Let's go over to Trader, Proper, and when you're looking at it, the AKS 74UN, right here, 35,000 Roubles. Now that is a bit pricier, but let's show you what we can do on the modding of that. Now, with this gun in particular, what I do like doing is I'm going to throw this on it because I know that's a cheap option that can start at level 1. I know another good cheap option to get a foregrip is I like the RK6. I'm a big fan of flashlights, and we'll run that. And let's not make the same mistake. Let's pull that down. I want to make sure we're getting the right one. It's the XC1. I'm almost positive it is. Have to check after that last incident. Now, this is where if you have the money, it can make the difference. I go B18, and then I do put the MRS on it. And I try to, that's the wrong one. Let's see if we can. If I don't have one, I'll at least put this on it, right? You'll at least throw this on. I believe the DK1 is cheap. And let's check this out. Buy parts, yes. Okay, 55,000. That puts us over budget. What are we going to have to kill? In this case, I am going to drop the Surefire, and that puts us at 71,000. Not a bad gun build. Let's go ahead and go back and see what we're missing there. Let's take this off. And I'm going to say this is a good starting point for the ergo, for what it is. Upgrading from here, you can do a lot with. But had we not go with the UN, we probably could have afforded to have the flashlight on there. This is not a bad build, though. What I really like about this build is the tight, compact fit. I prefer this build for close quarters engagements. Now, you can run almost every map with it, but I like being up close with it, especially it's a good customs run. Did a lot of cheap customs raids with this. And it gives you fully auto. So none of the other guns I've covered has given you fully auto. It, in my opinion, doesn't have the effective range like the VPO 136 does, but it does have some fire rate and some suppression. So that's pretty awesome. Now the next thing I'm going to do is go into a raid and kind of show you what's going on here. So you can kind of see some of the differences as I talk through what it is. Not a bad gun, really like it. So let's just take a step back and kind of look at some things I am considering when I kind of built these. Now again, I know we built these together and I walked through some of the pricing options, but really there's, you know, you can get way better upgrades, but oh, you hear the scabs moving on us. Hold up, we might get some people here. Now, one of the things we're going to look at is let's just pick a point and kind of check here. So we're looking for how much that sway and how hard is it to manage and keep in the one spot. Now, handling on the AKS, not too bad. I actually really like it. It's able to maneuver pretty good, but where you do notice is, as far as like when you're comparing this to a submachine gun like the UMP, is let's check out the full auto, and I'm going to try to compensate a bit. So if you're looking at the spread on that, it obviously kicked way high up and then it sat pretty good. All right, so I like that. Not too bad for what it is. Obviously at range, further out, it's gonna be a little worse, but we're pretty good distance. So let's check this out now. Now I'm gonna try to move and hold it on. Now some of this is, if you're raw, ungodly with a mouse, I am not, you'll notice better effects, but let's watch this. Not too bad. Now, one thing you're going to deal with is on a cheaper gun with the kind of the muzzle brake like this, it's compact. You get a lot of that flash up. But as you can see, once I started walking, immediately went to the right and then it kicks back down. Now, that's going to be hard to mitigate at all. So just know this, most guns are going to do that. But what's important is it came back on the center spread right here. And it was pretty easy to keep center. Like I would say it was pretty good both ways. Let's see if we get a scab coming in. Nope. Okay. Really like the control on this, and that's one of the reasons, right? You can kind of just bring it on to target pretty good. And you're not running in like, watch this. I didn't have to shoulder my gun right there, right? Huge benefit to what that is. Because if I'm pressing up on a door, I can get really close before it breaks out, which is important when you're doing close range pushes. But as you can see, it also has some firepower for suppression. And obviously, if you're one-tapping things from range, you can adjust up and down. You can take some pretty long shots. So, AKS 74 UN, highly recommend. Let's swap over to the shotgun. All right. Now, this is our final modded version. So it does have a little bit worse handling, but here's something I like. We're not moving. Look at this. There's not much delay between that. Now, there's not usually a lot of sway, but this is so tight. You don't see it sway at all. Let's go back to this so I can show you a little bit. See how you can't really notice it goes. It bobs a bit more. For a shotgun, this is actually highly impressive that it's not bobbing a ton more. Now, next thing you're going to notice, let's do, let's turn on that light. One, freaking love the light. Who doesn't love a light? Pro tip, even though I'm not a pro, turn that light on. The bright spot, middle, use it as a hip fire. If you're not good at hip firing, there you go. Something back here. Oh man, I'm going to die on this, aren't I? No. So as you can see, it's kind of nice to be able to just whip around like that. Because it has the choke on it, you can go, oh. Ooh. All right, my hip fire was a little off. Let's blind them. Great hip fire, just semi-auto, so it's firing quick. Really love it. So, coming back to the VPO 136, 7.62 rounds, so it's packing a punch. But let's look at the ergonomics and handling like we did with the other guns. So when you're at a decent range, ooh, red on red's not a good sight. Let's see. All right, looking down, let's try to hold it on a point. Holding it's not too bad. There's a little bit of sway, a little bit more than you can see with the other ones, right? But then shots, let's just kind of do some rapid fire for that. Let's actually look at this wall because you can see it a little bit. So we're going to try to keep it on there. Not bad handling. hip fires pretty good. Now we don't have any attachments, so we can't see the lights, but let's go. So obviously not bad, but let's rapid fire it a little bit. So now it stayed in a pretty good vertical. There's pretty minimal horizontal, right? Just know when you're rapid firing, it tends to hike up just a little bit. So you will want to pull down, but as you can see, if you're trying to go for headshots, let's say the cross was its head, I should have been aiming a little bit lower, right? So that's good to see. Learn from my mistakes. Now let's try to move and shoot the same spot and see what we're dealing with sway-wise. Now you're gonna notice on this gun, you get a pretty wide variety, right? Just because you're getting a little bit more sway at the end, and it's single fire, so because you don't have the spread happening, you don't have the speed of it, it is a little bit more dangerous. So I'd say this is much more of your slow pace, you're moving through, maybe save up, get a better optic for it for more range. But let's hip fire. So hip fire is actually something it's not bad at, and that's where I like to show people with most guns is what's the hip fire. So we're gonna try to go here, 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 and here, okay? Ooh. Not bad. As you can see, there is a bit of drift, right? I mean, obviously I didn't hit straight on, but even in my shots, it kind of made this octagon pattern. So just know, I'd probably aim more center mass chest if you're doing that. But all in all, not a bad gun. All right, everyone, there you have it. My top 3 gun choices under 75,000 rubles if you're level 20. Damn it. If you liked the video, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.